You've tried everything to train your dog, but your dog is still struggling. Welcome to The Dog Who Asked for More, the podcast for dog parents whose lives look a little different because of their dog. This is where you figure out what your dog is actually telling you, stop second guessing yourself, and start building a path to a life that makes sense for both of you. I'm Em, a dog mom and dog trainer who has been exactly where you are and who works with dog parents trying to figure out what their dog actually needs. You've put in the work. You've shown up consistently. You've bought the books, watched the videos, hired the trainer. You've tried the treats. You've tried the corrections. You've tried being patient and you've tried being firm. And your dog is still struggling. And you're starting to wonder, is it me? Is it them? Is there something fundamentally wrong that no amount of training is going to fix? But this isn't about effort. You have effort. You have more effort than most people would give. What you don't have is a result that matches that effort. And that gap between how hard you're trying and how little seems to be changing is one of the most demoralizing places to be with a dog you love. I started with fits on an e-collar because that's what I was told would work. And I followed the protocol. I was consistent. I did everything right, and he ignored it. I could turn it up and he would just keep going like it wasn't even there. And I remember thinking, why isn't this working? This is supposed to work. And then I started noticing something. The higher I went, the more amped he got. Not calmer, not more focused, more activated, more frantic, more disconnected from me. And there was a moment where I realized I'm hurting him, not just physically. Something about this is making everything worse. So I stopped, not because I gave up, but because I was paying attention. And what I understood later was that Fitz's active listening had shut off way before that first correction. His nervous system was already gone, already past the point where learning was even possible. And I was trying to train a dog who had already left the building. And I see this everywhere. Dogs in training programs that aren't ready to be in training programs. Dogs being asked to perform in environments that are asking too much of them. Dogs whose nervous systems are so activated that the information you're trying to give them has nowhere to land. And the people training them doing everything right, by the protocol, by the method, by the book, and getting nothing back, not because the training is wrong, but because the dog isn't available for it yet. Here's what most people aren't told. Learning requires a regulated nervous system. A dog that is over threshold, flooded, activated, past their limit, is not in a learning state. They're in a survival state. And in survival mode, the part of the brain that receives information, that processes cause and effect, that connects behavior to consequences, goes offline. It doesn't matter how good the training is. It doesn't matter how consistent you are. If the nervous system isn't regulated, the information has nowhere to go. You can't train a dog whose nervous system already exited stage right. And this is where it gets hard because the answer isn't try a different method. It isn't be more consistent. It isn't you're doing it wrong. The answer is your dog needs to be in a different state of mind before training can work. And that's not something most training programs will tell you, because most training programs assume the dog is ready to learn. And some dogs aren't. Not yet. Not in this environment. Not at that level of activation. And so you keep trying because trying is what you know how to do. And the trying keeps not working. And you keep thinking, what am I missing? And the confusing part is sometimes it does work. Sometimes your dog nails it, responds perfectly, stays focused. And you think, we've got it. And then the next session, it's like it never even happened and you're back at square one. And that inconsistency is the most disorienting part because it means you can't trust the progress. You can't build on it. You don't know which version of your dog is going to show up that day. And neither does your dog. because their nervous system is still trying to figure out what's safe and what isn't. And until that's more settled, the training is going to keep feeling like one step forward and two steps back. This is what I wish someone had told me early on. Regulation comes before training, not instead of it, before it. Getting your dog's nervous system to a place where they can actually receive information, that's what makes everything else work. The training doesn't fail. The foundation just wasn't there yet. What if your dog doesn't need a better training method, but a nervous system that's ready to learn? If you've been trying so hard and getting so little back, that's not a reflection of your commitment. That's a dog whose nervous system is asking for something different before they can give you what you're asking for. You didn't miss something obvious. You were working with information most people never get. And the things that actually help Fitz get to a place where training could land, the nervous system support, the enrichment toys, the things that helped him regulate before I ever ask anything of him, those are all in the Fitz collection. The link to our shop.pet storefront is in the episode description. And if you want to understand what your dog is communicating before you ask anything of them, the Dog Body Language Secrets Quiz is a good place to start, because knowing when your dog is available changes everything about when and how you train. The link is in the episode description. So, be kind, spread joy, and remember, a dog that can't learn yet isn't a dog that can't learn.